Amazon just launched a second generation of the Echo Show 5 right before Prime Day. Let's talk about why I like it, even though it's kind of a bad smart display. Now, Amazon's always had this kind of shotgun blast approach to smart speakers and displays where they fire off a bunch of them all at once and they see which ones hit and which ones miss. Now, the Echo Show 5 was definitely a hit, and that's part of why we're seeing this update 2 years after that initial launch. First off, let's see what's actually better about these new Show 5s. Second, I want to talk about how comparing the new Show 5 to other smart displays may not be the most helpful way to think about it. And finally, I want to try out the Show 5 Kids with my 3-year-old and 5-year-old and see how Amazon does with its first kid-friendly smart display. The new Echo Show 5 has 3 basic upgrades. The 1 megapixel camera is now a 2 megapixel camera. It comes in blue, and there's no auxiliary port on the back anymore. That can't be it, right? The new Echo Show 8 had a new processor and its camera followed you around the room. I mean, not particularly well, but that was something, right? Nope, that is it. Oh, and if you're buying it for full price, which you shouldn't do because these things sell for crazy discounts all the time, but if you are buying it at full price, then it's $5 cheaper than the Show 5 originally was, at $85 rather than $90. So let's talk about these upgrades. First, the 2 megapixel camera is, well, it's not great. My phone's camera is 12 megapixels, and most of these smart displays have much better cameras too. Basically, this thing is made to be purely functional. If you want to video chat, it'll do fine, and honestly, the pixelation will probably depend more on your Wi-Fi connection than your camera quality anyway. The fact that the Show 5 is blue itself, cool, I guess. It'll be nice for anyone who's already gonna buy it and wants another color option, but nobody's buying it for the color. Finally, the auxiliary output getting nixed honestly kind of pisses me off. Smart speakers and displays like the Dot and Show 5 are fine desktop devices, but they've been really nice to hook into larger stereo systems. Sure, this probably doesn't affect most Show 5 users, but it's still frustrating to see any kind of downgrade on a second-gen device like this. Okay, so if you compare the Show 5 to the Show 8, it's a worse smart display on almost every level. Small screen, garbage camera, worse sound quality, and so on. And you can find the Show 8 for sale under $100 all the time. So in the past, I've firmly been in the get a Show 8 instead camp. But my mind's been changed on this slightly. If you want a smart display, I still think that the Echo Show 8 is one of the best values around. A bigger 8-inch screen is really necessary if you're following recipes in the kitchen, or if you're video chatting often, or if you're streaming Netflix, or whatever. And those are all things that I use my Show 8 for at home all the time. The Show 5 just isn't big enough to do that stuff well. But if you're thinking about getting a budget speaker like the Echo Dot or Dot with clock, that's where I think it might be worth picking up a Show 5 on sale instead. And we've seen them as cheap as $45 in the past. The Show 5 actually adds a lot to the traditional budget speaker. You can display photos, you get a clock, you even get slightly better sound quality. What's more, if you want to occasionally video chat or watch a video on YouTube, you can do that and the Show 5 will do a serviceable job. From this perspective, the Show 5 really remains a solid deal, and I think that's part of why it's been such a popular option in the past. In some ways though, this makes the omission of the auxiliary port on the new Show 5 all the more frustrating because it's less flexible than the last edition was. Where the regular second-gen Show 5 is kind of disappointing though, the Show 5 Kids really shines. Here's what you get with it. A chameleon color skin, custom clock faces, and 1 year of Amazon Kids Plus for free. It's usually $3 a month. Plus, the Show 5 Kids comes with a 2-year warranty because, you know, kids break stuff. You also get parental controls that are mostly the same as usual, except that you can't allow drop-in for any devices outside the household, which I think is actually a really nice privacy measure. My kids love our Echo shows. They play Lion King songs on repeat, ask about the weather, pull up videos about bugs on YouTube, pick out recipes to make, and video chat with their Grandma Jill. I'm a big fan of the Show 5 as a kid's device. With Kids Plus, they can have the voice assistant read them stories and do other fun stuff. I've actually seen it help one of my boys improve his articulation because his Echo just won't understand certain questions otherwise. And I can use the camera to check in on them when they think they're getting away with playing after lights out and taking turns jumping off the top bunk. I don't love the upgrade to the Echo Show 5. In fact, if the two editions cost the same, I would maybe get the first edition just for that auxiliary port, because that matters more to me than the 2-megapixel camera. Add in that the original Show 5 will probably see steeper discounts, and that kind of makes my decision right there. But that's not to say the Show 5 isn't a great device. It is, especially in comparison with budget smart speakers like the Dot and Dot with Clock. And the second edition is particularly great in one of its forms, the kids version. If you're thinking about getting a device for your kids to try out, give it a shot. The Show 5 Kids is easily the best kid-facing smart display on the market. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to CNET's YouTube channel for more like it. And let me know in the comments which of my kids you like the best. We're trying to decide which one to keep. Which Echo Show 5 you like the best.